Hola, muy buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Top Games. Bueno, gente, estamos nuevamente. Hoy estamos con un juego nuevo de Stanley Parable. La verdad, no miré absolutamente nada de este juego. Me llamó muchísimo la atención. Me gustó. Este juego me gustó por lo que mostraron en el tráiler. La verdad que mucho lo que es la atmósfera, el ambiente y por lo que veía. Algo narrativo y algo súper tranquilo de jugar. Pero con ciertas incógnitas con respecto a la historia. Eh, la verdad que me interesó. No sé nada, como les dije anteriormente, y creo que vamos a descubrirlo juntos. Igual es un juego bastante viejo, por lo que vi, pero más que eso no sé, así que vamos a ver de qué va la historia. Vamos comenzando.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Ah,
This is
lindo
what
trabajo, ¿no?
employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Un mes y te
And
morís.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Bueno, ya nos estamos moviendo, ¿eh? Me gusta. A ver el campo de visión, vamos a cambiar. Campo de visión, a ver. Ahí está, pues si no se veía muy... No se puede abrir nada, a ver, botones. Está cerrado.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Estos ambientes en donde uno normalmente lo ve lleno de gente, verlo solitario es como que genera cierta sensación de qué va a pasar, ¿no? O qué pasó. Mirá si tiene la computadora prendida. Se la apagué. Allá hay otra sala. ¿Se puede ir para acá? No, está cerrado. Muy bien. Cerrado también. Están arreglando. Cerrado. Con esto se agacha.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, bueno. Acá ya llega un debate. Cruzó la de su izquierda. ¿Por qué cruzó la de la izquierda? Yo quiero tomar la de la derecha. ¿Hago lo que dice el narrador o no? ¿Cuál es el fin de que yo cruce la que él diga? Obedecer órdenes. Ok, ¿por qué debería obedecer, no? Gran pregunta. Vamos a seguir a ver lo que dice el narrador. Muy bien. Vemos que la narrativa acá, por lo menos lleva un poquitito de lo que es la idea del juego, ¿no? Vamos a seguir.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Acá no hay nada, a ver, sobre la mesa. Usando los slides. Bueno, dice está todo ok. Como perfecto. A ver, nada que me sirva. Y acá.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Se dio vuelta y volvió a su camino. Pará, pero... hay herramientas. Podría agarrar una herramienta por la duda.
Here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hay una luz roja ahí. Subió, bueno. Ya el juego me da para rejugarlo. Ya de la primera. Una luz roja. Ah, no. Las paredes rojas. ¿Y esto? Baño del ejecutivo. Bien.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
¿Qué dijo? Detrás del escritorio, ¿no?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Wow, qué... hasta los sonidos, Un botón para ir para abajo. ¿A dónde iremos, no? ¿Por qué estamos acá? Gran pregunta.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Un chipazo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, jodeme. Vamos al centro de control, como dice. Ya se está volviendo medio turbio todo, ¿no? Apretamos el botón.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Estamos siguiendo todo lo que dice el narrador, ¿no? Cámaras. Cámaras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Acá
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Nosotros éramos el 427, ¿no? Ese. ¿Éramos ese? No, no me acuerdo ahora. Y ahora... ¿un ascensor? ¿O me van a sacar volando? Calculo que debe
This
ser así.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Bueno, vamos a hacer lo que dice. A ver, este botón. No, no funciona. Vamos a hacer lo que dice el narrador, ¿no? 5. ¿Qué es esto? Wow, el ambiente.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Lo damos de baja, ¿no? Tengo entendido. ¿Y ahora?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
¿De qué nos libramos?
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Hermoso.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Was happy. ¿Termina así esto ya? Saqué un logro. Bueno, gente, sí. Este es un final, ¿ok? El final sencillo, ¿no? Pero habría que averiguar más a ver qué pasó. Bueno, vamos a continuar a intentar otros finales, ¿no?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Quizás yo desde mi punto de vista no hubiese tomado las decisiones, hubiese investigado un poquitito más, ¿no? Soy un poco más curioso en este caso, a ver. Pero vamos a continuar y vamos a ver los otros finales, ¿no? Ahora sí.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bien, tenemos varias partes. O podemos comenzar de acá con un final distinto, pero también tenemos la opción de cuando vamos por las escaleras. En las escaleras podemos subir y bajar. Y también en la parte del final, ¿no? O sea, como hay que... Si yo pienso en la ramificación de los finales, tenemos bastantes de lo que podría ser. Pero bueno, vamos a avanzar por la derecha, ¿no? A ver qué...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Me gusta la voz, el acento del narrador.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Dale, dame algo, dame una gaseosa. ¿Y esta nota?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Otra vez. Primera puerta de izquierda, podemos seguir. Si seguimos, allá se ve afuera, ¿no? No, es un depósito. Oh, qué bueno que está esto.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ah, ya volvemos a reencaminarnos en el camino y acá podemos ir hacia otro lado.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
No, quiero ir a la derecha. No me estoy desviando, estoy averiguando a ver qué es lo que está pasando, ¿no?
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's to the right, my mistake.
Qué buena jugada, ¿eh? A ver, me la va a cerrar. No,
Not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
Muy bien,
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This way, muy bien por acá. Que ahora ya me estoy cuestionando qué hace el narrador, ¿no? Porque el narrador nos está guiando en sí. Hacer un experimento con nosotros entonces para ver. Volvemos. Ahí estamos en la sala de control.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
Es un spoiler.
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
¿Qué pasó? Me mandó del principio, ¿por qué? O sea, tiene el poder de reiniciar todo.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ahora me dejó la intriga, ¿no?
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
What?
¿Para?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
No,
Everything should be...
qué bueno que se está poniendo
Or did
esto.
something change? Stanley, Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ah, no, no me digas que ahora tengo un montón de... Hasta esta está... ¿Por qué esta está bloqueada? ¿No puedo correr esto? Quiero ir a esta. No, no, no. O sea, muchas opciones no tengo. Muchos botones no... No hacen nada. Podemos... Esta es, supuestamente, si miramos, esta es la del principio, esta es la otra. Y acá hay dos. Y esta se conecta con esta, ¿no? Ahora tiene el mismo fondo.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
¿No? ¿Otra vez? Pará, tal vez hay otra cosa que tenga que hacer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bien. Voy a ver si no hay alternativas, ¿no? Ahora no hay puerta.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back
se me
the
cerró la
other
puerta.
direction and see if we missed anything?
Bueno. Pará. Ojo, tal vez no estoy prestando detalle. Pequeños detalles o cosas que están cambiando de a poco. No, esto está igual.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait.
No.
Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Lo bueno es que la idea es que la voz te vaya guiando. ¿Y esto? ¿Qué cochinada hay acá?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Sí.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Bien, vamos.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work.
Como
and
no
it
sabía
really
para
paid
dónde
off,
ir.
So, good job.
Good job.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, otra vez no. Ahora hay una línea, no te puedo creer.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Bueno, gente, hasta acá llegamos hoy. Vamos a cortar acá el video. Bueno, recuerden ponerle me gusta si les gustó el video, dejarme un comentario. La próxima vamos a seguir. La verdad que me gustó bastante y está teniendo una matiz rara. Me genera cierta duda y cierta curiosidad a ver de qué va a pasar. Si es así, si lo podemos hacer así desde el principio o si el juego te lleva a buscar todos los finales, ¿no? Porque nunca volvimos al principio y volvimos a comenzar. Si no es que tal vez el juego es así. Bueno, gente, Si les gustó el video, recuerden suscribirse, ponerle me gusta y nos estamos viendo en la próxima. Así que, chau, chau.